What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today, Washington gets the win 23-10 in a game that was dominated by the defense. What a huge game by the defense. A defense that looks more ready than we could ever imagine. Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne have been on their games, and they showed that they were not a joke. Derek Forrest comes up with another interception in another game, and Kendall Fuller gets an interception and takes it back to the house, pick six. Washington is playing better ball, way better ball defensively in comparison to when we started the season. They are looking fantastic, and I tell you, if this defense wasn't playing on all cylinders, we wouldn't know what was going on. We see that Jack is totally involved. He's totally engrossed. He's not distracted. They are playing. They are honestly and genuinely playing very well. Again, this was a defensive game. Defense won this game. I told y'all, Pep, he's a guy who can adjust on the fly. Struggled adjusting on the fly due to the fact that he was trying a lot of stuff. I mean, he went as far as that, had Damian Pierce go out for passes. He was trying to do crossing patterns, all types of stuff. The defense was up to the task. They did a fantastic job. Even when the adjustments came in, they still found a way to adjust to the adjustments on the fly. Fantastic game, I have to admit. Washington did a fantastic job. Hands up to the defense. I mean, to the defense, to Jack Del Rio and everybody. They're playing very, very well. Very, very well. Can't wait for Cole Holcomb to get back. John Boston got caught on a scheme. Like I told y'all, one thing about Pep is that if he finds something that he can exploit, he'll go after it. And he did, but again, like I said, when Pep adjusted, the defense and Jack found a way to adjust as well. Great game. I tell you, Scott Turner went back to his inconsistent play calling. And it's like, I said this before, and I fell into the trap of this. I said it like, we can't be praising Scott Turner, because as soon as we praise him, he goes back to doing exactly what he did, and dang it if he didn't do it. Scott Turner went right back to the inconsistent play calling. He went right back into the focus of not understanding the what he was supposed to be calling. Again, you're going against the team that has the worst rush defense in the league, and you, for some reason, on your first series out, want to throw the ball. It was insane. It was insane. And but again, I'm not going to harp too much on that. Washington does get the win 23-10 against the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans have a lot of stuff they need to work on. For you Texans fans, I'm going to be honest with y'all. For all you Texans fans that are mad at Pep, it's not his fault. That offensive line is awful. That is one terrible offensive line. Not only that, the Sam Mills, he holds the ball way too long. He has no awareness in regards to getting the ball out of his hands quickly. And Pep does a lot to scheme certain plays open for him, or to sit up there and have routes easy routes for him. And Sam Mills, Davis Mills just hold on to the ball. He just holds on to the ball. Davis Mills is an awful quarterback. And to be quite honest, you guys losing like this might actually be exactly what y'all need, because again, You're talking about the fact that if you guys end up with the first overall pick, you guys can choose whatever quarterback you want. And then at that point, you're talking about giving Pep, who's known for developing quarterbacks, especially ones that end up becoming really good. You give him an opportunity to get a guy he can actually sit out there and truly groom. Trust and believe. Just hold off on being mad at Pep. Another thing is that I told y'all that sometimes what happens is that when teams face the Texans, they give other teams the playbook to beat us and to beat the other teams. What happened is that we didn't really get a playbook to beat other teams, but what we did see was that Ron showed mercy to his former boss, who is also his friend. Ron got to a point where you could tell he wasn't trying to score a lot because I think he felt he didn't want to embarrass Lovey. And I can commend Ron on that. I really can. But sometimes you just have to let the players do what they do. But again, you can't do much when Scott is being inconsistent with the play calling and stuff, which is something that he honestly did do. He was very inconsistent there. But again, I'm not going to harp on that. Washington won. Washington won the game. Shout out to my man Cedric Moore. Said, I hope you enjoyed the game. I remember you said was sitting up there talking about he was pissed. You know, he was mad because he spent $1,100 to go to the game. But again, you said you got to see a win in person. I didn't get the opportunity to see a win in person, but you got the opportunity to see a win in person. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you had fun, and I hope you stayed safe as well, said. Also, for most of y'all who thought that this was a trap game, I told y'all I did not see this game as a trap game because I knew Washington was going to win because, well, under my thoughts was that Scott was going to run the ball again just as much as he did in Philadelphia, and he didn't do that. But I didn't see this as a trap game. What I will tell you is that next week, that is the true trap game. The reason that is the trap game is because I had to tell one of my guys, William Lee, who made the comment, and he was talking about me pumping this Houston Texans team up, and I said at the beginning of the video, I don't see this as a trap game. This Atlanta game is definitely the trap game. Every team that has faced the Houston Texans, except two, every team that has gone up against the Houston Texans have lost their next game after the Texans. Every single team except two. And the two teams that won, the Broncos and the Chargers, the Broncos almost lost the game, but they won by 1. And the Chargers almost lost the game, and they won by 2. So understand, everybody else has lost after facing the Houston Texans. That includes the NFC East teams. So far, we saw that we beat Philadelphia after the Texans game. The Giants played the Texans last week. And guess what happened this week? They got blown out by Detroit. So, in actuality, this Atlanta game is the true trap game. And understand, this is a game that we could actually lose if we're not on our game. We actually have to score in the Atlanta game. Like, we definitely have to score points in the Atlanta game. We can't go into the first half and we got 20 points and then we come back out and after the first half we only score 3 the rest of the game. Like, that's not going to work for us, so, especially against Atlanta. So we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's for this Atlanta game because, again, the Atlanta game is the true trap game. It's the true trap game. Everybody's on a high right now. Everybody's excited. 2-game winning streak. Houston isn't quite as good as you want them to be. Everybody thought that the Houston game was the trap game. No. I said it last week that Houston was not the trap game. This Atlanta game is the true trap game. And once we see what happens, because again, we saw what happened with Atlanta. I think Atlanta actually did beat the Bears because they were up 27-24 coming towards the end of the fourth quarter. Cordell Patterson ran back and got the record. Ran back a kickoff 103 yards for a touchdown. We can't play around with this Atlanta team. We just can't. And if we do mess around with this Atlanta team, we will find ourselves back at 500 when in fact we want to keep going up the ranks. Again, the Giants helped us out a little bit because they lost. So again, upcoming is the true trap game. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I mean, look, defense won us this game. This was a defense game. Defense scored. Defense adjusted on the fly, especially when Pep started to adjust. The defense adjusted. Derek Forrest comes up with a pick. Kendall Fuller comes up with a pick. I mean, the defense is playing lights out right now. They're playing like they're playing playoff football. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Tell me what y'all think. Do y'all feel that Scott went to an inconsistent game plan when he should have just been running the ball? Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.